Beautiful people, we are at episode 21.
21.
What you do? Okay, sorry, you guys are 21 Savage, 21.
We're of legal drinking age now on the podcast.
We should have had a
We
shot.
totally should have taken a shot.
We should have had a shot.
I should have made your coffee
a little, yeah.
I have some Kahlua.
It'll be stronger espresso this time. Yeah. The healthy people, that's how we take shots. Beautiful people, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to almost everything from Life at Home. I am Doc Waller.
I am Abby Humphreys.
And this is episode 21. Can you do something for me? I think that's the lyric.
I think it is, yeah.
Is it okay? You know what? I'm not going to miss it. I tell you guys every episode, at least for the last 2 episodes, we want to hear your voice notes. We want to hear your messages because we think this show is going to be incredible when we can literally spend most of the time answering your questions. So go to our Instagram DMs, send us a DM voice note. Send us a voice note because we want to play it on the show. We want to answer it on the show. And it can be topics from business, creative, relationships, family, money, although I ain't got none. But I can I can relate to you. I'm sure it has some sort of, we can find ways to relate to you on money. I'll be rich in about a year and a half. Come check back. But questions about anything under the sun other than politics. And we want to answer those questions on the show because we think that's the best way to engage. You can become like our honorary.
There you go.
Our honorary host of the show. So yeah, start dropping those. If you want to record it on your phone and send it to us via email, you can send it to hello@lifeathome.com. And with that, Abby, at the beginning of this episode, I don't know if you guys know this, but maybe, 8 episodes back, I had a bit of a kind of a panic attack.
You crashed out.
I crashed out on camera. Well, not on camera because I edited it out. And I just got to the point where my mind wasn't working. I was getting so flustered. And I just paused and I was like, I gotta pause or whatever. And had to take a break. No, I don't know. I don't know if we took a break, but Abby rescued the show is the point of it.
I think we did take a quick little break.
We took a quick little break. But then after that, I told myself what I'm going to do before we sit down is go take a break, center, take my breaths and things like that. And when we were sitting down, just kind of like testing the camera angles and things like that just now, Abby goes, do you need to go take your breaths? I got really defensive.
Do you need to go take your deep breaths?
Yeah, do you need to go? I was like, am I, what? What? I thought she was saying, yeah, you look. But when she said that, I was like, yeah, I do.
What? Hell yeah, I do.
You know what? I don't feel ready. I don't know if it's because we have some new equipment in here or whatever. I felt like that was a very good. Yeah. So no, why do I have to guess? I have you here. Did you see, or were you saying you've been doing it?
It was mostly that like you've been doing. I know it's part of the ritual, so it's more It's helpful when you do it,
right? And
also, anybody in my life knows that like that's just the kind of shit I'm on. Like, I'm gonna tell you to go take some deep breaths. The other day, I literally sent Caleb he was like texting me. He was stressed out about work stuff, and I was like, I sent him a body scan meditation on YouTube. I was like, you need to go do this right now. Like, take a break from what you're doing. You can take 5 minutes and do a body scan. And then this morning I sent my mom some mantras. So that's just who I am.
So you were not with Caleb?
No.
But you said, do this body scan.
He like was texting me that he was stressed about work. Oh. And so I sent it to him.
Tell me what the body scan included.
It was, I had done a different one on like one of the apps, the like meditation apps that I use, but he didn't have that. So I was like, it was like, it's Yoga with Adrienne, who is the OG yoga girl.
Like the classic, yeah.
Yes. And she just has like a good solid body scan, like running head to toe that just kind of centers you.
Yeah. And what was there like a conclusion? Did he just...
He didn't do it. We never talked about it.
Oh, you came back stressed, and you're like, you did not do that body scan.
You did not do that body scan.
Speaking of body scans, let's do a human host podcast friend scan before we go into our greatest questions on the planet. I changed the title of that every time. Essentially, we have a check-in on the show where we ask each other the greatest questions in the world, where Abby and I can check in, but we're going to do that in a second. Let's scan real quick. And I'm going to ask like a weird, blunt question.
Okay.
Do you have problems?
Oh, wow.
Oh, you actually closed your eyes and like really?
I was locking in.
Yeah, but I messed it up because I asked like a really weird, like that wasn't an eyes closed kind of a question.
Can you imagine if you're like on a meditation app and it's like, close your eyes. Do you have problems?
How fucked up is it? Do you have friends?
Are you alone in the world?
Is your house a mess? Did you shower today? Is that your shoe? Is that your shoes smelling like shit?
Oh my God, I need a tissue.
I gotta stop. I'm sweating.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually do not feel like I have problems currently. You know, like
okay.
In the grand scheme of things, sure. But like right now, there's nothing like
weighing
heavy on me. No.
Okay, I'm asking this question not to just be picky or controversial, but I saw this individual online say this, and I wanted to present this question to you because I thought it was a dope ass question. Let's say there's like a potluck, a problem potluck, right? Every human being in the world, you get to choose.
Oh, I've seen this.
You've seen this?
Like you can pick out of that pot, or you can just keep your own problems.
Everybody's problems in the world are in there. Do you choose to keep yours?
Wow.
Or reach in and pull out a problem. You don't know what the problem is. You don't know
who it's from.
What would you prefer? Do you think that there's ever a time that you would not keep yours?
No. I would always stay in my own situation.
Yeah. Why?
Because there's like a 99% chance that like my problems are not as hard or bad as everybody else in that pot.
Yeah. I'm in that situation. I'm just thinking about how ridiculously large the world is, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to take that chance.
Yeah. I've been reading this book, which is consuming my entire mind for good. It's a great book. I'll probably talk about it later, but just that's what came to my head whenever you asked that, because I just like think about the problems that they're dealing with in this book, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Fiction.
Historical fiction, yeah.
Okay. I consider myself incredibly lucky in that sense, where I've never had a broken bone.
Me either.
You know what I mean? I've never had a broken bone. I'm just now. I mean, I have grandparents on my mom's side that I haven't met. My grandfather, passed away many, many years ago, but I'm just now getting to the point where I'm starting to see the ageism or the age of relatives start to take people. And it's just like, now I'm starting to prep my mind that the next 10, 15 years is going to be a lot of this. Yeah. But I'm 44 and it's just now happening for me. Right. So, I when I say that, I'm saying like, I kind of put death as like loss of life is like at the top of the problems. And I'm just now experiencing that all these other things. I think about all the problems I have. They're all like self-ambition inflicted.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm making them all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You chose them.
You chose them. And then, Abby, you want to talk about problems. Now, we may have mentioned this. We may have talked about this. It's that I am not one of the people in the world whose life would literally flip upside fucking down if I had a flat tire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've talked about that. Like if like a lot of people are,
it's like called something.
Yeah, a lot of people are like one flat tire away from poverty or something like that.
Or it's like I think it's called like the $150 problem or something like that. To where, and it's not so much people are listening and they say, well, flat tire. Why would that cause? Because it's the chain reaction.
The chain reaction. You can't get to work. You might get fired.
Yeah. There's no. I could message. I'm taking today off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On certain things that or whatever. There's a lot of people in those situations don't even have the reasonable people in their lives, right. or it's their last 150, or you know what I mean?
They're crawling out of a hole already.
Yeah, if I get if it's my last 150 for me now, I just got to wait till it's not taking money out of somebody else's, my kid's mouth or anything like that. You know what I mean? And so I consider myself incredibly lucky. And it's just like reaching into that potluck pot seems like the most absurd thing for somebody like
and
me.
And that's such a good way to think about it when your problems feel so big, is because it's just like a perspective shift. And like something that Caleb and I started doing, it was actually his idea, is we have a shared note on our phones that we put like everything. We have like our calendar, whenever like our expenses that we split, like shared passwords, everything. And we added a little part in it called things we don't want to forget. And it's like things that we might take for granted, like we might start taking for granted.
Wow.
But like at one point it was like this is huge. And like everything from like how nice our floors are and like our carpets in our house, because like whenever we first moved in here, it was like that was the first thing we did, was like we redid the carpets and we redid the floors. And like as soon as we walked in, we were like, this transformed the house. Like it's so nice. Then we get to walk on these, and they were expensive
without his outside shoes.
Without outside shoes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's on the list. One of them is how miserable my life was at my old job. I never want to forget that. And so we just add to the list of like things that, it's easy to just start to take for granted. But like literally almost every single day, I'm like, I am so incredibly grateful beyond any imagination that I do not have to interact with my old manager and that I am no longer in that job. I will never take that for granted.
You have no idea how funny or weird that you just brought that up. First of all, I need to commend you guys, because that's incredible. I think, I've been talking, thinking about my girlfriend, and I'm like, we do the damn thing. We got some good little practices and some routines and things like that. That things we don't want to forget, that is incredible, because that's the thing that you get into these places either with yourselves or with your relationship with people 5, 10, 15 years down the road, and you think it's lost. Luster. And there may be some things you can kind of blah, 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 blah. But if you don't have that list, right? And you don't have that list, or I was listening to a podcast with a group of guys, and they were just like, I'm not doing this again because I don't want to have to like build those things with somebody else or have to reach those milestones with that. There's so much work. So even if you can look at a list and say, we did this, babe.
Yes.
We
together.
accomplished it.
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't matter how long after you made that list that you look at it. It's like, you got to remember that. Like, what's the effort of like having to get that again or find that momentum again or do that? You know what I mean? That's
and like, and in terms of a relationship, God, like I think about it all the time. Even sometimes I'm trying to think of an example. Like Caleb will be like, anticipate my need like 5 steps ahead of something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the steps that he had to take to get there would and did take 5 years of him learning me, you know, and like nobody else can do that for me.
Yeah.
So like even things like that are harder to put into words, they're not as tangible. Like those things you don't want to forget.
Caleb could sit down at a piano and someone could sit sheet music called Abby up there and he could just play.
Yes.
But other people will be like,
yeah.
Yes. We'll be like, boom, boom, boom. Like, that's not my song. right. Yeah. Like that's time in.
Yeah.
And
totally.
And it's funny you say that about jobs because I was doing research. I have this kind of producer via Google Gemini that I developed that helps me come up with ideas. And there's a trend where people are returning to jobs that they left. In this, they're like, yep. Like, so I don't know. I can't necessarily go into it too much, but that happened to me last week where an old boss reached out to me and was like, hey, would you like to come back? And I can't go.
There's a little bit of power in that though.
100%.
Where you like, they need you now.
Oh, 100%. And Abby and I have some things to talk about in that light. I can't necessarily like go into it on this podcast, but like
we can take it offline.
We'll take it offline. But yeah, and you know, thinking about problems and writing things down and remembering how good things are. I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the almost nothing at the end of the episode, but sometimes with positive people like me or positive people like you, people that have like an optimistic nature, sometimes we think the baseline or the normal or the quiet feels bad.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to and I left a message with my girlfriend this morning just saying, hey, I'm headed blah, 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 blah. And I was just telling her my thoughts. It's like, sometimes I have to remind myself, like, this is just regular. This is just, you have really, really good and you have really, really bad. Optimistic. Like I'm an eternal optimist, right? I feel good just like 95% of the time. Yeah. But when it's just, and my highs feel like ultra high.
Yeah.
Because I kind of attach myself to them. When I'm not in a high, I kind of feel like, what's not working?
Yes. Oh my God.
What's not working? But you have to realize nothing's broken. Relax.
That's why you're able to feel that way. Like you're not in a state of fight or flight. And like literally what you just described it's very specific, and that's literally why Caleb made that list, because he noticed that I was like constantly like, it's like being an eternal optimist and also being like a visionary or whatever you want to call it. Like you always want something more. Like you always are like itching for the next project or challenge or something. So when all the things that you've put into place are kind of like working, you're like, okay, what's next? What's next?
And but when it's you can just be like, you can just live in this for a moment.
Yeah, like God forbid you just chill and like, you know, take a break. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not good at doing that. But you know, we can get into it. But
sometimes, and at that moment, people like us, we just gotta go for a fucking walk.
Yeah.
Like stop trying to ideate something.
Yes.
Just go for a walk, bro. And just realize that Armageddon is not happening.
Yeah.
The tree is still there. Go touch a fucking tree.
Yes, literally.
You know what I mean? And listen to the birds.
Take some deep breaths.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So in conclusion, we are not sticking our hands in any, jar, because we appreciate our problems. In the grand scheme, we don't necessarily feel like...
I like my problems.
Episode title. Let's go. You know, now I like this, but I'm also kind of jealous that she's come up with the last like 8 titles.
I loved the episode 20 title. That was so good.
I know, it was so good. That was a great episode too. I had a lot of people say like, "Oh, I'm giggling at this," or DMing me.
When I tell you, like, so many people have told me that they listen to the podcast, and it makes me so happy. Like random people that I would not have thought will just and they're not even like, "Hey, so like I'm listening to your podcast." They'll just be like, they'll kind of like mention it in passing, and then I'm like, "Oh, you've listened to like multiple episodes."
Yeah.
I've had people that are like, "Yeah, I'm like refreshing it to see if a new one's come out." Like,
oh my gosh.
People, and it really makes me happy.
That's so awesome. We had someone on YouTube comment, and she's like, really love the banter, really love the exchange between you guys. And she's like, I had to switch over. It may have been an older viewer. She's like, I had to switch over to listening only because the camera angles kind of like made her dizzy or something. A little bit.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
it's funny because my sister said that she was listening to it at one point, but she's like, I got to see your face. She's like, I wanted to see what your face was doing. And so she switched to watching it, and then she went back to listening.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and I messaged the lady on YouTube and say, yeah, we're gonna have our third camera angle back, so where there's more of a wide,
it's like in front,
wide, so you can get kind of like you can kind of recenter yourself, and the viewers get to recenter sometimes
and see both of us at the same time.
That's sometimes that was, and we did start out that way, but I had a lens break, so I'm gonna get that fixed, and then we'll be back. So if you are that listener on YouTube that commented, we love you and we appreciate the fact that you're listening. She was like, yay, let's love this is a great that kind of thing.
That's great feedback.
Yes, that's the type of feedback we want. Yeah, so that just goes to show you just got to keep. And let me tell you, I'm going to speak a little bit of business for like 45 seconds. I saw this person say something like, just signed a $95,000 sponsorship for the podcast, blah, blah, blah. Had like maybe 70 episodes. Views are not met. And it's just like, you stay consistent and you just do this, and you're a quality and you just kind of, it's these opportunities that we want for this show are going to happen. Same with these workouts that we're going to start dropping on YouTube like Skittles. We're just going to bloop, 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 bloop. So we're about to get into another level of consistency for the rest of the year, and I'm really, really positive about a lot of things. So the studio, if you guys are listening, if you're listening and you like to work out at home, we got some goodness coming, and we have so much other series and episodes of other things being prepped and ready to film for Life at Home. Cooking in the pot. Okay, so the greatest questions on the face of the planet. This is where I probably just edited in the word. Yeah. Really good questions. This is where Abby and I ask each other a list of highly curated questions that allow us to check in with each other and see what has been going on in our lives since the last time we recorded. Great thing about this segment is that you guys get to pick these questions yourself, ask them to yourself as you're listening, as you're driving, wonder about, I wonder what's going on in my life in this way, or ask your partner, ask your kids, ask your parents. If somebody's in the passenger seat with you right now, I want you to pause it once you hear the question and then let them answer. It's a great way to just kind of like check in with people. Okay, so I'm gonna have Abby read the list, and we smash or pass these.
Smash or pass.
If we pass, we don't want to answer because we got something to hide.
Who sparked the most joy or the most interesting challenge in your world over the last 7 days?
Pass.
What did the world teach you this week that you weren't necessarily looking to learn?
Pass.
What is one decision, big or small, that you've been circling this week but haven't quite landed the plane on yet?
Smash. Okay. So I got to try to find a way to speak about this respectfully. I think you get to a point to where, or at least I get to a point to where, let's just say, for the general good-looking, articulate man, I've had much less relationships than a general person.
Yeah.
Because my life has been focused on building these things, the project after project, company after company. I'm just in a position where it's just like, I can't be in a relationship. Now, I have had some really good relationships. I can rarely look back and say, oh, that was a bad person, or I regret that relationship. Been with some really incredible women that I just respect and still have a lot of respect for. Maybe one crazy, but if I really look back and I'm honest, maybe I was a part of a lot of that, right?
Self-aware king.
Yeah, and maybe not maybe. More than likely I was a part of it, right? But this current relationship, I'm starting to you start to see the potential for longevity. And then you start to say, okay, at some point, there's going to be a point where I'm going to introduce her to my immediate family or my parents or whatever. And I've had the absolute pleasure over the last couple of days to speak to some of her family because she's back up north, and it's been over the phone, been absolutely wonderful. Really, really cool people, funny people, sweet people. On my end, though, I'm just like, okay, I'm taking, and maybe it's because of where I am in life, but I draw very, very bold lines, boundaries around myself. And I'm starting to realize, I'm even more protective. And maybe I always knew this. And I've always been, my mom's like, oh, tell me who she, and I'm just like, well, I've always been a little bit standoffish, even when it was just somebody I was with or whatever. And she was casually saying, but now when I start to see, okay, I'm in the life building stage, and I'm starting to see real tangibility and real longevity with this person that I find myself, getting deeper into this relationship with. I will not put up with a lot. And I'm saying this because I'm speaking from the family perspective, and I mean this in the most respectful way, but I mean this in the most honest way. Family can fuck that shit up so quickly, so easily, because it's people that are the closest to you that oftentimes feel like they can take the most privilege with you. And in my position, I'm starting to know that I'm going to have a conversation. And the conversation is there's a conversation coming. So I know at some point I'm going to reach out to my mom. I'm going to reach out to my dad. My little sister has a bit of a reverence for me. And so she would look at any woman I would ever bring home and be like, oh, yeah. She'd be like, what? She would automatically have like an immediate kind of respect. She would never cross the line because that's big brother. That's my, that kind of thing. Yeah. Me and my brother are in a different situation currently. We're not necessarily speaking at the moment, so I'm not even going to speak about that. But my mom and dad,
Wait, are you a middle child?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we've never talked about this.
Are you serious?
Like, I guess I've never thought about it that way. You know,
I'm a middle child, so my brother is older, my sister's younger.
What's the age difference?
1 on top, 2 on bottom, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and so. But I'm also the oldest child. I'm the one that resonates as the big brother in both cases. And I will say a lot of it has to do with my parents aren't together. they're not legally divorced, but they separated. And if you're honest, there comes a point when you start to zoom out and actually look at your parents' relationship and start to call it out for what it is and what it was and what it definitely is not. You know what I mean? And so and it's just like, okay, cool. I would like you guys at some point to meet this person in my life. But if you do this and you do this and you do this and you do this, I promise you, I don't need you to be an element in this. We can be hi, bye, pass, that kind of a thing. But I promise you, I can love you from a distance. And I'm not trying to tell anyone or suggest that this is how they should do it. I'm letting people know that this is how I feel.
Can I interject and ask a question?
Yes.
And you don't have to go into detail.
Okay.
But like, what would be some of the things
easy
that they would do that would or like what
easy.
Are you scared of?
Easy. They would 100% bullshit about how good they were.
Okay.
They would 100% bullshit about like they would
sugarcoat.
They 100%.
Okay.
My dad, I need to be respectful. My dad
Do you think that you could like this is a therapy thing.
Uh-huh.
Like if you know that like there's a good chance that they're going to do that.
Uh-huh.
And you tell your partner that.
Uh-huh.
And you go into the situation just knowing that that's how it's going to be and just as best you can.
Uh-huh. I hear where you're going.
Just kind of be like and I like to play a little game where it's almost like you make it like I called this to the point where it's kind of like gratifying where you're like, I knew this is going to happen and it happened and I'm right.
Right.
And you just leave it at that and you accept it.
Right.
Could you do that or
Absolutely
would it piss
not.
you off so much
Absolutely
to where you would
not.
have to call them out?
It wouldn't so much piss me off, but it's just like
it's not right.
It's not right, and I can't allow because imagine so
yeah.
Visit 1, then visit 2, then visit 3, then kids are here. Right?
Yeah.
Now they're grandma and granddad.
Yeah.
Now there's, you know what I mean? So it's just like
it's from your perspective, by allowing it to happen, you're enabling it and accepting it and
100%.
Yeah.
And it's also too, there is nothing more pussy to me than a dude that lets his mom or dad speak in a certain way to his girl,
yeah,
or to his wife, or to,
yeah,
that kind of a thing. And so, and it's not, and I'm not, my mom and dad are sweet, but the older you get, there's a lot of things that have happened over the last 10 years. So I'm just like, here, I don't look up to anybody in my family, and that pisses me off.
Yeah.
As a middle son, as a middle child, and also as a son, I do not now look up to my mom or dad. That fucking pisses me off.
Yeah.
There is not a single person in my family that doesn't look up to me, including them. And if they say it, they're fucking lying. Right? And I wish that was not the case. Now, it's not like I'm saying these are bad people, because they are not. I absolutely love my dad. I would die for my dad. I would die for my mom. But I know for a fact that, my mom would jock for position. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, well, but that's my, not in a way, not in the mother-in-law movies with Jennifer Lopez, not that.
Yeah.
She wouldn't do that. She has a little bit more class than that. She has a lot more class than that. But it's also just like, I don't need you to say anything to this woman about how much I care for you. Your title is mom.
Yeah.
Right? That's all you need. That's all you get. Don't say anything about he's, because in my world, I don't know if it's where I come from, classic Southern boy. This new person is it.
Yeah.
This new person is really all I need. I want to be there for my parents. I want to provide for them. I want to reward them for certain things that they've done for me. But it's just also just like, and then around, my family does a lot to where they just rewrite a lot of stories. Mm-hmm. And we did. And I'm just like, okay, well, cool. That's the truth. Well, why are you in this fucking position now?
Yeah.
Why did this happen 2 years ago? If you're such, you know what I mean?
Right.
To me, I'm in a world where everything has to be called out.
Right.
Everything that I do has to be, because this is like, well, Doc, as a matter of fact, Caleb from Life at Home DM'd me this morning and said, let's go, boy. I love your persistence. I'm watching it. Every fucking thing that I'm doing around all my passions is visible. Everyone knows Life at Home was quiet for the last 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you live in a no bullshit world.
None.
And so when people try to put bullshit in your world, it's gonna like bounce.
Yes.
Bounce
My dad
off.
will probably say something about church or religion. The motherfucker never went.
Yeah.
When my mom was taking us every Sunday, he was never there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll bring up something about politics or whatever, but it's only because he's listening to it on the radio.
Yeah.
He has no position. He's never voted ever, fucking ever in his life. And then you also start to realize, every now and then my dad, he sent something sweet the other day via DM. And I'm just being honest with people because I know I'm not the only one that is dealing with family stuff. People have
and I will say, I have friends that have extremely difficult familial relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, how much it impacts them and how embarrassing it is for them sometimes to talk about it, because, especially on Father's Day and holidays, you'll see other people on social media gathered around a table with their family and doing these family pictures. And I'm guilty of it because I'm really close with my family, and you see it on social media and you think that everyone has this perfect happy family, but then I know people that are actively estranging themselves from their families and vice versa, and
I'm getting a lot of stories now.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something. Okay, let's grade this. What you're talking about, there in my mind, let's 10 very bad, 1 not bad at all. Love your family. There are people out there with some hard 10s, Abby.
Yes.
Hard 10s to where they hate their family members.
God, yeah.
I do not hate my family members. I am at a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But I also understand to where I cannot let this happen if I want to create, you know what I mean?
Right. So, because you're trying to at this point, and it's funny because this happens to me sometimes where I can literally visualize you and the energy, I don't know, I'm literally having a vision of it, of you taking your girlfriend to meet your family, and I can picture you and physically how you would be, but also the image that I'm getting is you kind of having your arm this.
Yeah.
Protecting.
Yeah. 100%.
Very, very protective, almost territorial
100%
of her.
100%.
And I think it's because it's you have worked so hard personally and now with her to create this safe, sacred space.
Yeah.
And you don't want anybody to mess it up. And that's 100. so valid.
How do you tell your parents? Because there's some things to where that my mom and dad, horrible communicators. When you really look back, there are some sweet things that my dad did for my mom, some sweet things that my mom did for my dad. But it's also just you guys didn't stick with it. To me, it's just if you're a Harvard grad, I shouldn't make these comparisons, but every time somebody does something bad in the world, they always interview the person that lives across the street, and they go, well, I never thought that he'd do this. I never thought that he'd run into the school and chop off all that kids' heads, right? I saw him at the coffee shop all the time. All that shit that you did 15 years ago, it doesn't matter to me. I am the type of person that's like, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
How did you take all of that? What did you turn all of that into?
Yeah.
And there are certain decisions that both of them made to where it's just like, okay, cool. I am not going to judge you in a way. If you can come into this and just literally meet someone new and say, and just be invested and question, as opposed to what I know that they would do is wait to interject.
Yeah.
They would listen and then wait to say, well, that's so sweet. Well, this is what I used to do. And I'd be right there. No.
Yeah.
We don't need to go over that because this is the actual truth about on it. That just frustrates me so much, Abby, because it's also just like, and these pre-questions and these pre-conversations that I'm talking about that I know I'm going to have is my way of respecting, saying, I'm trying not to embarrass you in front of her when this happens. So don't bring your bullshit to this. Just be yourself. And I want you to think about where you are in life, the decisions you've made, and come to it just being a humble individual, willing to learn about somebody.
Don't have an agenda.
Yes.
The agenda is just to have a peaceful interaction.
That's it.
That's the agenda.
Here's my mom's agenda. It's so peaceful. It's not negative at all. It's not spiteful, but she's coming to perform.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the relationship.
She already has her first 7 things that she's going to say in her head before she even walks in.
Yeah.
And that to me is that's not what it is, because we don't have to do this. We can just actually have a calm, respectful, but also like honest.
Yeah.
Honest certain things. I don't want to say these things, but like this last example, I said my dad sent me something sweet the other day about music, because he's a musician, whatever. But like the previous 3 or 4 things, you remember that story that I put on social media months ago about the neighbor who was being abused? And
yeah.
So I had this new place, and guys can go back, but I had this new place. This woman asked me to not let her husband in. It was an abuse thing. I called the cops. It was crazy. Then I realized that like she was following me on TikTok. I just like and I'm just like, is this? I'm just like, why is she? It's just so weird. It felt like so intentional. Like I'm gonna follow. And then I went to her profile, Abby. When I tell you, how Stranger Things is a TV show. It's a kind of a scary TV show, and they have like the upside down.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, right. So the upside down, it's all dark and things like. I went to her profiles like the fucking upside down. It was just like, oh, there are people in this world that can be in the same building as you, and the things that they are involved in, it almost looks like a different United States. It's just like, oh, you are just full of bullshit.
Yes.
No wonder what happened with me is because everything that you share and post, I was just like, this is weird, right? I'm saying this because my dad, I know his algorithm is getting there.
Yes.
Right.
And it's scary when
like, that's my dad. How is this you, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, you're the one that was telling me to clean up my room on Saturday morning. Get out there and mow the lawn. Now this?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So
it's scary how like adults are like, people talk about how.
And we think it's the kids.
Yes, we think it's the kids. But the difference is that, it's all fucked. But like kids, at least my generation, we learned to evolve with it.
Right.
Whereas like, older adults, boomers, people in their 60s and 70s didn't. And so, and I don't know why or how it's gotten to this point, but it's like, there's no balance with it. It's like so extreme. It's
the the younger kids with as much as we say we want to protect kids, and we actually do, they grew up with a certain digital savvy.
Yes, that's what it is.
That older adults don't have.
Yes.
So when my dad is DMing me, thinking I'm gonna like laugh and poke it, I'm just really, bro. And I think he noticed the last couple of times, like, I don't need to see this shit.
Yeah.
Some goofy shit that happens.
It's like AI slop.
Yeah, that too. My mom. Sometimes I visit what my mom is doing, and she's like, "Isn't this sweet?" And I want to say, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
AI.
It's AI.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
that's the difference that like people, we can all tell when it's AI, but like if you didn't grow up with it and you didn't like see the evolution of it happening, then you might not know. And it's like,
it's very scary. And so, I think my dad got the point to where it's just like, okay, he's not, but like, no, and he sent me, okay, I promise I'm going to stop this because he sent me some video of some dude with a black on a whiteboard saying something about, this is why women, blah, 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 something, this is why you're attractive, this is what, never date a 4 or something like that. And I looked at this video that my father sent me, and I said, Dad, why are you sending me this shit? Look at him. What does he look like? You telling me he ever had something over a 4? This sloppy body ass bitch in this video is going to tell me about how to, like, why are you sorry. Abby, this is what I'm saying. So all of this, you want to have dinner with the woman, this person that I'm going to spend. You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
This is like so
you're thinking about it and you're spiraling.
What are you?
You're spiraling.
Let me go breathe real little. Because I'm thinking.
I mean, I understand because it's like, and I'm
over here getting hot, like
being in the very, like, not very beginning, but like being at the beginning of a relationship. You're so protective of it in so many ways.
Yes.
And you start to notice the threats of it, of like of external things. And it's like, especially whenever you so clearly can pinpoint what it will look like and knowing that like it will probably have to happen. And you're just, you're trying to reconcile with it. Yeah. And it's,
and I don't know if I'm going to reconcile.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reconcile. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be.
And luckily there's no like rush on it either,
that's right. And I can, unless they, I might just send them this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, unless, so I just, I come in it. And if it wasn't such a deterioration in discipline, which is what has happened. Like my father, sometimes I feel my father so much. My father, when he would bring me and my brother and my sister to stores when we were kids, he was so sharp in regards to like, if any individual approached our car with his kids near, he was like a pit bull, Abby. If someone was like reaching, he would flip. He would be like, don't approach me. He would literally, the guy would be sweet and stuff like, he would be like, motherfucker, are you coming up to my car with my kid? Like he was so on his.
Yeah. And it's hard to see
where
when
they've gone.
When you know that they can be that way.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'm not necessarily saying that was good that my dad did that.
But you're like, how is this now this?
Yeah, he was just a sharper individual. But then you start to see, things that I would hold as like awesome or even cool at the age of 12. I see it differently now. Age of 13. I'm like, I know what that meant now. You know what I mean? And so I just need to be very careful about how I do this because I want a peaceful, I want something for my relationship that they do not even know exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't know the possibility of it exists. And imagine saying that. And when you talk to Black parents from the South, oh, really? I raised you. Doesn't matter. What you guys accomplished never reach what I'm even looking to do.
Right. I'm a completely, yeah. And like, what is it? You become a new person chemically every 7 years or something. Have you heard that?
No, that's interesting.
There's something about like the cells, every single cell,
Yeah.
can like, I think it like resets every 7 years.
Yeah.
Apparently you can fact check me on that. But like from the time that they quote unquote raised you, you have evolved like so many times.
Wow.
Like chemically, you know, like, and it's reminding me a lot of my friend that I have that's like having, you know, just family stuff. And it's like, it's interesting because it's like you see people's families and then you know someone in that family and you're like, how did you come from that? Yeah. And you see them trying to like maintain and like hold on to the relation, like to the family relationship. Because the alternative is to just completely cut it off, which is devastating in its own right. But it's really hard and just goes back to the problem pot of like, you know, you just never know what people are going through. And the people that are living in the upside down, they have a sister and a mom and, you know, like people are, yeah.
Living in the upside down might be a competitive episode title.
Alternative title.
Holy moly.
The upside down.
Okay, I feel like I'm so glad the air kicked in. Ooh.
It actually is a little warm in here.
It is a little warm. It feels a little better now.
Well, I sleep with it at 68. But I was really cold this morning, and so I put it up to 71.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say like 77.
No. I might go turn it back down.
All right. You ready for your questions?
Yes.
Okay. What's the one thought or question that's been on a loop in your head all week that you're finally ready to put down?
Pass.
What's one thing you did this week purely because you wanted to, not because it was on a to-do list or part of the ambition plan?
Pass.
Was there a moment this week where you felt truly seen by a stranger, a friend, or even yourself? What was the context?
Pass.
What's one decision, big or small, that you've been circling this week but haven't yet quite landed the plane on yet?
Pass.
What did the world teach you this week that you weren't necessarily looking to learn?
I think I had thought that I was maybe going to smash that one, so if I need to, I can come back to it.
Who sparked the most joy or the most interesting challenge in your world over the last 7 days? I can give you a truth or truth.
The most joy. Read it again.
Who sparked the most joy or the most interesting challenge in your world over the last 7 days? 14 days.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to your truth or truth, and then I might still.
No, you don't get to.
What is it? What do they call it? Like final death?
Yeah, final. This is a final destination.
Okay, what was the last one that I said I was maybe gonna smash?
What did the world teach you this week that you weren't necessarily looking to learn?
Okay, I think I'm gonna smash that one.
Okay, good.
Okay, so. Something that I've realized, and I don't know why it took me like 2 years to realize this, but like in my business, people really like chill out in the summer. Oh. And like, I was thinking about this. So last summer was my first year. Last year was my first full year of being like self-employed and having clients and, you know, taking on new clients and having meetings and stuff. And I remember like, so last summer I can't even tell you how many vacation days I took. It was lovely. I went on like 3 full long beach weeks, and I was just like out of office. And at the beginning of this year, I was like, how the hell did I do that? Like thinking about my workload this year, I was like, how in the world was I able to do that? Like, I must have just not had as much work. I don't know. And then this summer rolls around, and granted, I did hire an assistant, which has helped. But again, I'm like, I've been able to like take time off, and I'm like, oh, it's just people chilling the fuck out and not needing me because they're on vacation. Like people are truly just, you know, nobody's like really wanting to start anything new right now. Like they're kind of just like coasting.
Yeah.
And oh my God, like when I tell you, so to answer the question, which is something I wasn't necessarily looking to learn, sometimes I think that I need to be like constantly busy, and like that's what I need. And in my head, I'm like, if I'm busy, I'm making money. And if I'm making money, I'm, that's like good. Like, but having a little bit of downtime has been so good for my soul. I truly cannot explain it. Like,
right.
And all it has been, I mean, my clients have stayed, like I haven't lost any clients. My workload technically hasn't changed, but it's just people not needing to like have meetings with me. And like, it's just making me kind of rethink, like, do I just need to have better boundaries about like people's access to me?
Okay.
Because it's like, if I'm able to run my business with like how my nervous system is right now, which is like so cool, even calm, cool, collected, whatever.
Yeah.
Why is it a lot of times not like that when it's the same clients and the same workload? Like if we can maintain this and we're doing it right now, why can't it always be like this?
But also, are you analyzing how much better this moderated, what did you say? Your
my nervous system. Yeah.
Moderated nervous system, or maybe that's not the word, a kind of balanced nervous system.
Yeah.
How good that is doing for the actual quality and efficiency of your work.
Totally.
Like, so if you're not in the space of like
fight or flight,
you know what I mean? Or when you are in that space, what is that? How is that taking away from the quality and the actual consciousness of the things that you're doing?
That's
right. So
100. Yes. Because it's like, because I'm in this space, I'm able to be a lot more proactive versus reactive. And I'm like getting ahead of things. I'm anticipating needs. And I finally feel like I've caught up. Whereas for the last 6 months, I've honestly felt like I've been kind of drowning. And I don't know if it's also maybe just like a combination of summer and then like maybe my systems that I have been working on kind of like kicking into gear, which is really good. But yeah, I just am like, I have a out of office email that I've drafted. I'm going to send the beginning of this week. That's like, hey, so I'm going to be gone for like 15 days in August. Everything that you need is handled and scheduled and good. And I'm like, I have someone that's going to be monitoring your account while I'm gone.
Right.
Here's my calendar. I have availability before I leave and when I get back.
Right.
Do not contact me for 15 days. Like, I dare you to try to contact me.
Subject line, I dare you.
I dare you. And it's just like, because I've been so available and I'm constantly available, like, and people have my personal phone number and can reach me at all hours, it feels good to just finally be like, no. Like you said, the work that I will do for you will be so much better if you just let me chill out for a second. And whenever if you do need to meet with me, it's whenever I'm, we have a scheduled time, I'm prepared for it. It's not like an emergency.
Yeah. Here's what I think people underestimate. We consciously think about the work all the time. Our bodies unconsciously think about the rest we need.
Yes.
You might not think, you'll be grinding and it's like, I got this. Your body is still waiting for the next time it gets to catch up, relax, unwind. I've never had a vacation in my life, but let me tell you, I am getting my 2 to 3 walks a day.
Yeah. You're getting your micro vacation.
My micro vacation,
You still need to take a vacation, but so.
Oh, I'm told I'm going to. And I'm working up to that. But it's also just like I wasn't as demanding of my mornings 10, 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
I saw something on Instagram. Where's my phone? I saw something on Instagram today. And it was like, let me see if I can pull it up.
We learn how to do better by ourselves. You know what I mean? We learn to do better. We learn to do better for ourselves. And this whole summer, you know, the Europeans call it holiday. Let me tell you something. The first time I went to Paris, it was during like the fall. There's like a month of like August. Do not fuck with them during those. They do not play about their holiday. Yeah. I mean, doors shut.
Yes.
They take it very seriously. What are you talking about? Why would you, it is we will be back. Not in 15 days. We will be back in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real
because
thing.
It's like, the thing I couldn't find it, but it was basically like you don't want to know who I am if I don't have my rituals.
Yeah.
And it's like, whenever you are finally, people always talk about like shower thoughts. Like the reason that you have these thoughts in the shower is because you don't have your phone. It's really one of the only times during the day that you're just alone and you're like alone with your thoughts. Mm-hmm. And that's when you have these epiphanies because you're like in solitude and you're, for all intents and purposes, taking a break. Mm-hmm. And for someone who works in a creative profession, like you said, the quality of my work is, compounded whenever I'm able to recharge. And like, I do have epiphanies even for like, oh, that would be a really great post for my client whenever I'm on a walk. And it's like, if you let me do that, the work I will do for you will be so much better. And like, that's what going back to my manager, he never understood is it was like work. You need to get here at 7 a.m. and you need to leave at 7 p.m. And I'm like, if you work me to the bone like that, the work that you get from me is going to be shit. So like you have to let me take a walk and like go to yoga on my lunch break or I'm useless to you.
They don't understand humans. They're not, those are the,
if you want me to be a worker bee, like, it's going to be shit.
Is this company still around?
No. I mean, it is, but
yeah, right. So, it's funny when I think you get to certain professionals in some levels, whether, like job titles or whatever, or individuals that work for themselves. You start, it's almost, what's the fashion cycle, in the fashion industry, you start to understand that they're building the summer line the previous fall, mm-hmm. right? Or in the movie industry, people don't understand that when they see Chris Evans on Jimmy Fallon promoting this movie, he shot it 2 years ago. Yeah. And his haircut is for the movie he's on now. People don't realize, think that they just rapped and they sent him over there. That's what happens when Jimmy Fallon says we have a clip and they say, hey, do you want to talk about what this clip is? And they go, I don't know what this clip is. Yeah. They haven't been on that set in the last 2 years. Yeah. They don't remember what the clip is. And then the clip is over. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. That kind of thing. And so you start to realize in certain industries, the business calendar schedule kind of thing. You get a clear idea and you're just like, oh, wait. This is going to pick up again in August, September.
That's exactly what it is. Thank you for bringing it full circle because and it was just a cool moment that I had where I was like, oh, I've been through 2 years of this now. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to see how things are in seasons. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's comforting in a way because I'm like, I know what to expect. Like just because things are quote unquote quiet doesn't mean it's bad. And it's like, so I wasn't necessarily looking to learn that, but it was a nice.
It's like a post Labor Day. People are, it's go time. It's go time until Thanksgiving.
Yes. And it's funny how like why that happens. Yeah. Yeah. Like the urgency that is created via
it's
the
like
media,
fiscal calendar kind of closing taxes. Yes. Companies trying to get things in before Christmas. At some point, they all start to like attach to each other. Yeah. That kind of a thing. You can't necessarily, a consumer product good company can't necessarily run on a fashion schedule, but you start to realize when in season you get to pick up, that kind of thing. Yeah. You start to learn, an NBA player, knows like, okay, I may be on summer break, but I got training camp in a week. I probably should get off the donuts. You know what I mean? And start getting my salads because I don't want to show up to training camp.
Yeah.
It's learning the schedules of every single.
And it's funny because it's like for people like us that are very much like consistent and disciplined, it can be frustrating when other people aren't that way and people start to panic. And my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes is like, your lack of planning does not necessitate an emergency on my part. Ooh. And it's like that. I like that. I posted something the other day. It was like, your sense of, or like quite literally your sense of urgency is extremely off-putting and like I fucking hate it. And it's like,
I gotta be honest, I was like, did I say something?
Oh my God, no, it's never against you. But like, it's usually people that like, you know, you hire me to manage your social media.
Yeah.
I've been doing it consistently, exactly how you asked, for a year.
Yeah.
For 6 months, whatever. All of a sudden you're panicking because you're not getting sales for some other reason.
Yeah.
And you're coming to me and you're panicking and basically like threatening to like fire me as your social media manager.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm doing what you told me to do. You're not going to get business from social media. Like
creative director, social media manager, not creative director.
Yeah, I'm not your marketing person.
If you want me to do some brand strategy, we can have another meeting. But like, you're the one.
Yeah, I'm totally if you want me to do X, Y, and Z,
I can give you my thoughts on that.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll charge you a separate rate for that because that's not under what we originally agreed on.
Exactly.
And it's just like those are the types of things where I'm like, sorry, but like that's not my problem.
Yeah. I agree. Episode title. That's not my problem.
That's not my
problem. Okay, so now we go into our matter of fact. Okay, we have what's our runtime, and we get to like see what our runtime is.
Oh, that's nice. What are we at?
We're 107. Okay, an hour and 7 minutes. So we need to cap it in the next 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. So I have. This is matter of fact where we present really interesting facts about things going on in the world, or just not necessarily going on in the world right now, but things about life. We ask the other host, have they heard this fact? And we have a little conversation about them. So I brought, here's my fact. I think I'll go first. Okay. Recent neighborhood habit surveys reveal a massive paradox. While over 80% of adults say they want to feel more connected locally, less than 3 in 10 Americans actually know their next door neighbors by name. And a majority would rather buy a tool they would use once than ask a neighbor to borrow theirs.
That's so funny.
So my question is, I come from the era. I come from the era where like it was just a knock on the door.
Yeah.
And on a Saturday, we would probably have 4 or 5 kids knocking on our door to see if we can come out and play, or hey, go over to see if we can see
borrow
if
a stick of butter.
Yes, to see if Miss can have some sugar. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or go get some charcoal from, or something like that, right? I happen to feel like, and I don't necessarily know this. Well, I'm in an apartment right now. I know that I'm probably looking to buy land on like anywhere from like 3 to 6 acres, right? But I also want to feel like I can drive down the road and that individual knows who I am. I want to do something to where if there are houses in this district or this area, I want to package something up with my wife, go over, drive it over, say, hey guys, this is this is who I am.
Oh, I have a story about this.
This is who I am. This is my wife. This is what I do. Here's my contact. If anything's, that kind of thing. Now, I will cut that shit off if I realize you're over there boiling lambs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If you're sticking kittens up your...
Yes, kittens up your hoo-hoo. Like, I will cut it off. But I also, and like, your kids, friends, families, and things like that. I want a sense of of neighbor community. But I also think that it's like largely lost because you know why? Remember, it was a couple episodes ago where like somebody knocked at the door and it felt so foreign to us.
We both went.
We was like, who is this? And you were just like, is that what the who? And we talked about you hiding in the car and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we are, and it feels like we need to do something. You know what it is? It's in the Abby, I promise you, when I develop this new pitch deck for Life at Home, the word trust is going to be on the first page because I think we've just lost trust in ourselves. We all think that the person next door, now we're thinking like, well, who did they vote for? Or what do they believe? Or who they're on the other side. And it's just like,
we're all like on the defense.
Yeah, we're all on our heels.
It's like guilty until proven innocent, where it used to not be that way.
Yeah. And it was just like,
because I remember that like growing up in my neighborhood, like I still know all of our neighbors, you know, and like we would go over and people would knock on our door and, you know, we would borrow sugar from the neighbors and stuff. And it's like, but it's funny because here, whenever we moved in, you know, I'm trying to think how it happened.
Moved in here?
Yeah. Whenever we moved in here.
The crazy lady behind the There's some neighbors that
yeah, she's great. I don't know her name, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I can't remember how we got. Oh, I think I made muffins one day.
Okay.
You know me, just making muffins,
yes.
and I
had one.
Some extra.
Like there's one right there that I'm about to finish over there. Yeah.
And I had some extras, and so I brought them after. You know, we moved in here in August, so and I remember they were pumpkin muffins, so it must have been like October, and so I brought some over to our neighbor with a little note, and I was like, we just moved in. And then she returned the like container that I brought them in with like maybe something else and like a little card that said like, hey, this is, or maybe I can't remember. So I know their names because she put their phone numbers on them. And it's actually been really nice. And we've interacted with them a handful of times about, you know, just neighborly things. And I've borrowed stuff from them and vice versa. And they're great over there.
Yeah.
And then there was a neighbor catty corner that had a baby and they had like the thing, they put a little sign in the yard with like the heron, or it was not the heron.
The seagull or the bird.
The bird. What is it?
Stork.
A stork, yes. And
heron.
And so the seagull.
The tilapia.
And so I brought cookies over to them and then like we were on great terms with them. They have since moved. So then I was like, oh, this is a fun little neighborly thing to do. And so a couple doors down, I saw that they had a baby. And so I made them some brownies and I brought it over to them. Not a peep. Like didn't hear anything from them. Not any.
You set it down?
We set it. No, yeah, we set it down. We rang the doorbell. Nobody answered. Actually, no, we didn't ring the doorbell. We just set them down with the car.
You and Kayla walked over?
Yes. And then we said like, you know, this is where we live. We live like at this number, just right down the road. Let us know if you ever need anything. Happy to help. Here are our phone numbers. So we put our phone numbers. All I needed to do, and I'm sorry, I know you have a newborn. Just send a quick thank you text. Like even if it's 2 weeks later. Didn't hear a single word from them ever.
Ever?
Nope. And then like we'll walk by them. And like they'll be coming out of the house, like walking the dog, and like they'll see us like coming out of our house, and they just like don't say anything. But then like, because a couple days later, I like went over there and like the brownies weren't there anymore. So like,
did they return the container?
No, I think I brought them on like a paper plate or something. But I'm just like, okay, and I know they were good. So like, I hope
you're thinking about the quality of the
yeah. I'm like, I hope you enjoyed them, but like.
I used my last bit of sugar on them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
No.
But I was just like kind of butthurt by that.
I mean, there's the thing. You don't necessarily have to reciprocate the actual
not
act.
at all. Just say thank you.
There's a level of decency.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate the brownies. You know, thank you for welcoming me to the neighborhood, that kind of thing. And so, but you can only attempt. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now you know if someone dies, they did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the ones that
that's them.
Yeah.
Them and their baby.
I just hope we, as a society, I hope we get back to just a little bit more
neighbor
stuff.
Yeah.
And I think here's another thing too. I think that life at home, the type of community we're trying to build, we can really start to foster that neighborly stuff digitally.
Yes.
And allow it to
trickle
out into
totally.
Real life. So
that's a good one.
All right, cool.
Okay. I'll do mine quickly.
Abby's matter of fact.
So somehow I've gotten on like feng shui Instagram.
Gotten on just now?
Like I've gotten on that side of the internet.
Gotcha.
On the feng shui side of the internet. So I have two things. I think I'll probably do the 20 things to remove if your home stresses you out.
Oh, this is so cool.
And this is like from the perspective of feng shui.
Okay.
Do you know anything about feng shui?
A little bit. It's kind of just like a philosophy of calmness kind of a thing. Or calmness, composition, design.
Yes. And like kind of how how energy moves through a room and stuff.
Right.
I think to some people it can seem a little bit like
foo-foo.
Yeah, or like superstitious, but I believe in it.
No, yeah.
So these are 20 things. I'll just run through them quickly. Having a knife block on display. So these are things that like you're supposed to remove or like it's to remove or to move, to like relocate. So having if you're feeling stressed out in your home.
Okay, got
having a knife block on display. And then they go into reasons for each of them.
Okay.
Family photos facing your bed.
Ew. Wait. Like your immediate, like your
if you're laying in your bed and you happen to have like a photo, like a gallery wall, like that you would look at, they said it can like stir up like too many.
Facing your bed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking
But like think about it. People probably have that,
in their bedroom facing their bed is fucking weird.
Or like on their nightstand, like facing catty corner, picture of your family. People have that.
Oh, okay. Wait. If you and Caleb have babies, that is completely fine. I'm talking about like immediate.
Right. No, but I think it's saying still, like just in general, like having family photos facing your bed, like it can just stir up too many emotions. Like your room is supposed to be like a sacred place of solitude.
Okay,
like don't bring the relationships with your family.
Don't have Uncle Fred over there looking at you. Yeah, but,
no.
Okay.
Mirror reflecting your bed. I have heard that you're not supposed to have that. That's like bad.
Weird.
That's like bad.
That's kind of juju.
Juju, yeah. Medicine bottles left out. Laundry baskets always visible. Old calendars still hanging up. Exercise equipment in the bedrooms. Work documents beside your bed. Drying rack permanently left out, like in the kitchen. Reusable bags piled by the door. Dead flowers in vases, which I literally had dead flowers in vases and I threw them out right before you got here. A garbage bin visible from the entrance. I have that. Mirror that's reflecting clutter. So that was interesting. So like it's compounding the clutter.
Yeah.
Unread mail on kitchen bench. Furniture blocking walkways. Overflowing open shelving. That's a big one. Chair covered in clothes. I'm really, really bad about that. Sharp corners pointed at seating, which is interesting.
Okay.
And then constant reminders of unfinished tasks. So probably like laundry and that type of thing.
That's a really good list. And now I'm going to go home and be like, my feng shui is so off.
And like, it's so interesting because I thought about it whenever I like went in that bathroom to light a candle before you got here. And I noticed that we had some mail on the entrance right here. And I'm like, I've walked by that probably 20 times over the past couple days. And I didn't even realize that it had been kind of like giving me this like sense of urgency. And the reason is because I finally went through it and I had like a bill in there that I had forgotten about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that had just been sitting there. And I subconsciously knew that it was there.
Yeah.
And then I finally just went through it, threw out all the junk mail, took a picture of the bill, and now it's like I checked it off my list,
Did something with it.
And like think about how many things like that are just floating around your house, stressing you out, and you don't even realize it. Like, so whenever you're doing your just, like don't let it pile up, because that a cluttered space equals a cluttered mind. Yes. So you literally have to just.
I could not agree more. The number one thing that I thought when I got my car to drive here was like, I swear to God, I can't wait to get back to clean up.
Yeah. That's all I did yesterday was just like clean
You know.
my house. Yeah, I love it. I love doing it.
What's the opposite of shui feng? That's my house.
That's how it feels right now.
My house is shui fenging right now because it is so bad.
Well, it's funny because Kayla went to help some of our friends move yesterday. And, moving is just always like a cluster, right. It's just like things are just thrown all around.
Yeah.
And he was there like all day and he came back here and I hadn't done like a ton of cleaning, but it was obviously cleaner than where he had just been. And he just sat on the couch and he was like, oh my God, it's so good to be here. He was like, it's so nice and clean in here. Like, yeah. And like, again, just things to be
felt like a mental break.
Yes. Because you don't realize how much it stresses you out to be around clutter.
I love it. One, very good list. Two, I can't imagine people who are focused on wellness, who are followers of life at home, who appreciate certain things that we do, won't appreciate that or won't find or
even just like one of the things.
Things. Yeah. So move Uncle Leroy's picture.
Get him out of
your bedroom. Okay. Ew. All right. So now we have a part of the show called Almost Nothing. And Abby is the introducer of this segment.
I sure am. This is Almost Nothing, where we talk about a tiny delight, a personal win, or a recommendation.
Now, my recommendation kind of goes back to the middle ground thing. And this is for highly optimistic people, but it's also for normal people too. Oh, no. Never mind.
You have another one?
I have another one that I feel more inspired to say this, and I'll save the next one. I'll save this one for the next one. I'm going to switch real quick because I've been thinking about it. Oh. Relationships recommendation. Y'all, in your relationship, you have to understand the difference between being irritated and offended.
Big difference.
There is a massive difference between being irritated and being offended. I happen to be an incredibly principled individual where oftentimes people give me kudos on my discipline and give me kudos on certain things that I hold really dear. I'm just there aren't a lot of loose ends in regards to how I move throughout the world, right? So I kind of hold myself in a very honorable position. So if anybody, and especially somebody that I'm getting to know, may say something, I just feel like
you get
get defensive and get offended. But then it's just also just like, bro, are you offended or did you just get kind of irritated in the moment?
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. And so there are a couple of things.
Relationships are so like they're mirrors and they hold up a mirror to you. And especially if it's a good match, they reflect the good things about you, but then they also show you a lot about yourself that you didn't know.
Yes. Agreed. And that should translate into me being able to go back to that mirror, point at it and say, this is a you problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh God.
She did not mean anything by that.
Yes.
Bro,
your reaction to it says everything.
Yeah. And what's the difference? Get off your high horse, because you can move past this by just saying, you were getting on my nerves, as opposed to, I got to find a way to talk to, there are things that you do have to talk about, but it's just like,
sometimes it's not that deep.
Sometimes it's just really not that deep. And like, not make a list, or just be a bit more conscious about what you actually should be offended by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pick your battles.
Pick your battles, right? And you know how you can go into a social media platform and it's like, do you want notifications? Just click on notifications, or do you want to share your reels to Facebook? You can click the button
it's
off
like a toggle.
or on, right? Some of us need to go into the settings of our relationship and toggle on irritability.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have it off and it's like, don't irritate me or don't get on my nerve. Like, just actually understand that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
allow it to be a lesson about why you're feeling irritated too.
Yes.
Because it's like, I mean, sometimes they are just like pissing you off and they're being annoying.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
But a lot of times I have learned so much more about myself through Caleb than I ever could have just like on my own. Because, you know, whenever you start to get in flow with someone, you notice patterns and, you know, sometimes they'll tell them to you like straight up.
Yeah.
Like, you're this way. And you're like, I am that way. Do I want to be that way?
Yeah. And so I just be willing to like, and here's another thing too, in regards to that. Stop expecting the polished part to be the majority, or the great part to be the majority. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? To where it's just like, oh, we had such a great day. But then there's like this small irritable thing that happened and it's like, oh, it just ruined the day. No, it didn't, bro.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. It ruined the 5 seconds before, you know, find something to do. And my girlfriend's probably listening to like, what did I do? I didn't irritate you. You do. Even I can sometimes notice, and this is very, very, very seldom. The great thing about the relationship that I'm in is I don't think we've had a honeymoon phase. Meaning like,
you dove in, like,
no, not meaning like there was not a like,
auga.
No, auga, but no, like butterfly eyes. There was never like really that moment to where it's just like Sound of Music walking through the thing. It was just like, we have very hard conversations very early.
Yeah.
Or just very like intentional conversations.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like dove in.
Oh yeah, dove into like, okay, well, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
You know, kind of straight, very straightforward, you know, that kind of thing. And so, you know, you tweak your ankle on something, you know what I mean? Or you stub your toe on something. Your foot's not broken.
Yes, I get what you're trying to say.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so
like, don't question the whole relationship or like just because of like one irritating moment or something.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to oversimplify it by saying don't go overboard or don't be over dramatic. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm saying if you find yourself offended, those are the things that should pause. The you know what I mean? Those are the things that you should be like, okay, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, like this struck a nerve.
Why? And those little small irritable things, address it immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was about to say, this is what I was going to say. There are times, because we didn't have this kind of like a fairy tale moment, there are times where I can say something that irritates her. I know it in the moment, and I just go, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I know that irritate, or she can say something, I can see it on her face. She knows that irritated me.
Well, a lot of it's about delivery too. Like,
100%, 100%, and right. And if you're noticing the delivery, and you know it wasn't delivered with some intention, you know what I mean. And so if she says something that irritates me, and I know that if I can see it in her face that it registered, then there needs to be a level of empathy that comes with it. You know what I mean?
Like, thanks for acknowledging that.
Yeah. She didn't say it and go skip down the hall and be like, have a good night, baby.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Yeah.
You know, and
something that I don't know if I think it was my personal therapist one time said that has stuck with me is like, and I've heard this about parenting as well.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best things that you can do for a relationship is just like add humor as much as you can. Same thing with parenting. Like, and when I say humor, I mean just like joke about your fights almost.
Yeah.
To where like Caleb and I have so many inside jokes about our own fights. Whenever like it's like something that like one of us said in the heat of the moment that was just like humiliating, and then like a couple days later we'll like I'll reference it and then we'll just laugh and then like it'll become a running joke. Like, don't take yourself too seriously. Allow just like this lightheartedness to kind of be the undercurrent of the relationship, because in those tough moments, whenever you're both kind of just like really pissed off at each other, you can just look at each other and just like shake your head and be like, you need to go in the other room because we're in a bad place right now. Let's cool off. And then like we'll laugh about it in a couple minutes. Like, you know, like just allow that to be the vibe.
100%. And so yes, I will. How do I say? Do I want to say this? No, I don't want to say
okay.
this.
I was going to say, if you have to question it, probably not.
Yeah, no, I got to say this. But here's one thing that I 100% appreciate. This is the person that I'm with right now is an immediate corrector.
Yeah.
And an immediate addresser and an immediate corrector.
She's not going to let things fester.
I love that because, and when that happens, when there's like an immediate acknowledgement or addresser, you know that it wasn't offensive.
Yes.
Right? Because if someone's intentionally offending you, it's almost like a walk off.
Yeah. Like they'll say and they'll like let it sink in.
Yeah.
Versus if they say and they're like, ooh.
Yeah. Right. So just know the difference and kind of get off of your high horse just a little bit. Don't be offended by every little thing.
Yeah.
Feel free to be irritated. And if you're in the moment you realize that's an irritation or you know, that kind of thing, address it as soon as possible, because the second you guys start to accept the regularity or the normalcy of being irritable, you humanize it. And they become little punches as opposed to like Claiborne bombs. You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. So okay, Abby's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna do a personal win.
Okay,
and it's I referenced it earlier. It's the book that I'm reading. So it's this monster book. It's really, really big. It's called The Calamity Club. Have you heard of it?
The Calamity Club.
Calamity Club. So many people were like, you have to read this book. It's so good. It just came out.
Okay.
It's so good. And I started listening to it. I have Audible, so I get like a credit every month. And I bought it with one of my credits on Audible. And I started listening to it and I was like, I can't do it. Like,
why?
Like sometimes I'm really sensitive to like the audiobook reader's voice.
Oh, 100%.
And there were like multiple readers and like it just came on really strong, and I can't remember exactly the time period that it's set in. I should know. I think it's like Prohibition era. What is that, like the early 1900s, like before 1920s ish. And so it's like Deep South, like and I also like to listen on like 1.7 speed, so that's a personal issue, but like. And I was like, I can't do it. I don't want to read this.
Did it seem overly dramatic?
Yes.
Overly dramatic kind of a thing?
Exactly. And almost to the point where it was like kind of goofy and almost like appropriation in a way. I know it's not, but like I felt like, this is an actor from Brooklyn. Yeah, I was like, this is too much. But I was like, I'm like, it was basically like an $18 audiobook and like. So, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to try again. And like, it literally happened like 2 or 3 times where I would listen to it and I'm like, I can't do it. And then I'm like, I'm just going to try again. And I kept trying, couldn't get into it. And then finally,
it's a British actor named Lilibeth.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah.
I finally looked it up and like figured out who was. I had to do a little bit of research on the voice actors to come to terms with it. Because it was also like I couldn't figure out like if it was a black girl and it was like a white girl. The
character was black.
I thought maybe the character was black.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I was just feeling
it matters.
I was feeling a weird way about it. It's all everything's kosher. We're good now.
Okay. Right.
But anyway, I finally like hit the ground running with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is such a good book. It's so good. I will say it took me about 40% of the way through, and it's like a really, really long book. So if you don't have that patience, I totally understand. But like, wow, it is. I have not been so immersed. And like the reason the book is so long is because you have to be immersed in it. Like you have to put in the hours to like truly understand the characters and appreciate it. And like,
did you stop the audiobook to start reading, or you're not finished yet?
I'm still doing the audiobook. I've stuck it out with the audiobook, and I appreciate the audiobook now.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, I think I'm like 75% of the way done with it now, and I don't want it to be over. It's so good.
The Calamity Club.
Yes. I'm not going to give anything away because there's like a big twist that happens like halfway through that I like never really saw coming that they kind of allude to at the beginning.
Which makes you even more invested.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just, so that's my personal win. And then also a recommendation to read that book. It's really good.
Calamity Club, y'all. Go and get it at your stores.
Yep.
and remember, the actresses, everything's kosher.
Everything's good. Yep.
All right, folks, that's episode 20. We appreciate you guys hanging out. No, 21. 21. Can you do something for me? Great episode. Remember, we want to hear your voice notes. Send us a message. Send us, even if you don't want your voice recorded or played on the show, just send us a text DM on Instagram. That's the best way to send us a question. We will answer it on the show. And beyond that, you guys have been great.
Go in peace.
Good. All right, this worked.